So for today's video, I just wanted to play another kind of oddball deck that I have played a couple of times on stream. Much like the last quick hitter video I did with the Prophecy Mage deck, this is one that I don't necessarily think is like good, but it was just kind of cheeky and fun, so I thought I'd do a quick video on it. The reason I'm doing videos like this and not like a full-on deck spotlight is because I'm not necessarily convinced of the power level of these. This one is just more like thematically fun is the way I would word it. This is what I call guard.deck. This is a mid-range Spellsword deck. I kind of wanted to build a deck that I would imagine the monthly card fitting in, right? So that's kind of what this is. It's Spellsword, it's got a lot of guards, and it's kind of, you know, just big body themed. So we're going to kind of dive right in and see how this goes. I think we throw you back, but I like you two. And let's, hey, that is a curve. Alright, so we're playing against mage. Don't know what kind yet, though. And bam, there we go. So we got our choice of 2 drops, kind of depending on what he does. Alright, I think we start with the Bruma, just because it's the more aggressive of the 2.
There's always
and we are kind of an aggressive deck. Believe it or not, for a Spellsword. Kind of curious as well if this young Link is like a free-to-play account that Turquoise Link is running. I know that he started a free-to-play account.
We'll hold, no matter what.
Alright, so he goes East March over there, huh? I think we go ahead and punch him and assert our dominance of the field lane. I mean, we clearly don't want to give a 4-4 up to a 4-2. So that doesn't seem very good. Hive Defender can block and survive that, so unless you've dropped something else there, we're fine.
Don't make me laugh.
We do also have the option of going Bruma into Kvatch as well, depending on what he does. So if Hive Defender ends up not being a quality option.
Did you hear that?
Oh. Could be Marked Man into Lion. And it is in fact that. Alright, so I actually do think that the Kvatch option works out much better here. And I'll explain why in a moment, but first, let's punch some things in the face. Ouch, that did not bode well for us because that is a lightning bolt in all likelihood. This looks like it's Token Mage. So I think right now he's trying to decide, does he want to take more damage or does he want to get this off? Being Token Mage, yep. So let's go ahead and hit that.
My plan.
We're going to drop a second Bruma here.
There's a plan.
And we're going to Kvatch over here.
Now
the reason that this is better than just straight Hive Defender is because he either has to trade here or it soaks 5. And we gained 2 health from it. Now the only way that this doesn't work out is if he has either a Divine Fervor or an ally.
Your orders, your orders, your orders, your orders.
But otherwise,
so
that soaked a fair amount of damage in our favor. Alright, so now we really need to hope he doesn't have any.
You won't
Divine
foil
Fervor.
my plan.
You won't foil my plan. And then we could Hive Defender, or we could Knight of the Hour. Knight of the Hour gains us some health, also saturates better, and then we can double Dark Guardian next turn. Though I kind of want to wait to gain the health, even though it doesn't saturate as much. The other nice thing about Hive Defender is if he does have, let's say, Divine Fervor, right? Hive Defender means that this eats 3 of these, so we only lose 1 Bruma in that scenario, where Knight of the Hour means that we lose the Knight and both Brumas. So let's just go ahead and drop our Hive Defender. Now we do have to worry about things like Imprison, but we have no way around that. Even if we had traded our Brumas in to the tokens, we couldn't have stopped Imprison, so... There is the Imprison. We likely lose both of our Brumas just to him crashing.
I hear you.
The ink protect us.
Bit of a bummer. Not much we can do about that. I do think that we just peeled the lion off there.
Don't make me laugh.
Theoretically, we could have actually used it to kill a token and keep our Bruma alive, but I don't think that that is as important. Interesting.
Training is over. It's time to act.
That is interesting indeed. So I actually think we're going to do a little bit of trading ourselves here.
You won't
Let's go
foil
ahead and put
our
this
plan.
off. And we're going to go with our double red guardian plan. Supposed to get some health from this, but then also to hopefully kind of wall up. This has the potential to be pretty decent for us as well with the slay ability.
Leave nothing.
I hear and obey.
It's a really good reinforcements.
Your orders. Your orders.
Kinda was hoping that that wouldn't be the case. But again, not much we could do. We had no way to get rid of that either way.
Don't
Oh,
make
and
me
execute
laugh.
it. Okay.
You can't defeat me.
Your destruction is at hand.
Okay, so we need to gain some health here. It's probably looking like Bruma into Knight of the Hour, just for maximum health gain.
You won't foil my plan. There's a plan. There's
Let none
always a plan.
defile our temple.
Because he's got a really strong board presence at the moment. His Brutal Ashlander is actually a bit of a problem, because if he takes a favorable trade with that, we're in a bit of a pickle.
Don't make me laugh.
Acknowledge.
Die, Outlander.
You can't defeat me.
Into the breach. I hear and obey.
I think our real problem is going to be the 5th
I feel a
Legion
storm
trainer.
coming.
At this point, the Golden Saint's kind of a nice rip for us.
You won't foil my plan.
Kind of a nice rip indeed. I mean, we definitely take it. It's just now a question of where do we want to put our wind keep at. I think the answer's over here, so we
My
can
Arcane
really
Spear.
trade with
This
the
day
field.
will be mine.
He's gonna get so much value out of this before we can deal with it. Unfortunately for us.
Die, Outlander.
And he can save a guy on that
Into
side.
the breach.
But perhaps more importantly is, again, he's keeping this alive.
Hand over the coin.
Meaning that there's not a lot
I hear
can
and
do
obey.
about that.
I feel a storm coming.
Confound you! At the ready. I've got you covered.
Kinda don't like playing this when I can't get a trigger, but at this point I need some additional insurance that I think that I can peel this off.
The eight protect us.
Because at this point all of his creatures are going to be getting some pretty massive value. This is a rough game for us to not find any of the
We'll
Shadowfen
hold,
priests.
no matter what.
Oh wow, yeah. Okay. He might have just won on principle if we don't draw another guard. If he trades on both sides, I can't deal with what's on the board with the
You can't defeat me.
Into the breach.
And this
Hand
is
over the
even more
coin!
insurance because that makes this. Alright. That was... That's actually a really clutch turn for us.
Don't mess with me.
I mean, I think this comes in. I think we blow this up. And technically pulling this off pulls more damage, but then, like, he corrects. So I actually think that we go with one less here, just to try to protect this, because we can gain some health back if we can break a rune. I think he's just got us, though.
Did you hear that?
But that's extra insurance, because this is going to be a 3-2 guard now, essentially.
Your destruction
Or I
is at
guess it's a
hand.
2-2, but it doesn't matter. It's a guard.
Nothing.
And we don't have enough to deal, realistically. Not with everything on the board. Like even if I were to edict this and go up to 5, those two over there kill me by themselves. Even if I Hive Defender over here and edict a lion.
Don't miss.
That is sadly all we got. So we were pretty close to stabilizing here. Our opponent had a lot of really high synergy plays and great draws, so I don't feel too bad about that loss. I mean, really, when you think about it from a token mage standpoint, he had all of the things you want to win that. Even on a budget version, clearly the Corsair ships are better off being like Divine Fervors and things, but the double pit line is pretty solid. Both Imperial reinforcements turned into good plays, and lots of cycle, which ultimately, I mean, that's what tokens does. So, you know, it's a clinic on token play. Unfortunately, it was a clinic on our face. Let's see if we can go 1-1 and wall up a little bit better this time around. Alright, so we're going second. And against mage then. Alright. I think we throw this back and we hunt for 2 drops. I like the Haunting Spirit, but with the ring I would really prefer to find a 2-drop, though it does not appear that that is going to be something that happens unless we get it off the top here. And that is still not a 2-drop. So it's a bit of a bummer, mostly because not only do we not have a 2-drop, but while I love Haunting Spirit, I hate playing what I call a naked Haunting Spirit. Meaning if you play this empty on the board with nothing else
always a play
for it to buff when it dies, you're kind of just like asking for pain. Let's go ahead and put this here, actually. Even though I expect this to just turn around and die, I think that it's better for us to fight for the board. Because if we get behind,
my plan.
then we're in a significantly worse spot. Good news is, that sucked up at least 1 execute, so let's hope he doesn't have a second. Or Grizzly Gourmet would also be a bit of a bummer. Alright. So we're gonna go ahead and jab and take our value target. Just try to assert control of the board. So right now it actually looks like we might be playing against Control Mage, just based on the execute. Either of those could be in like mid-mage as well. But it certainly feels like Control Mage, so we'll put that down as our note for now. And if it is Control Mage,
A little distraction might prove useful.
we might be kind of in a world of hurt, believe it or not. Kind of in a world of hurt. It's interesting because, like, normally I would just say, hooray, like, double Haunting Spirit here. But that's just asking for an Ice Storm. The Golden Saint also basically does nothing for me right now without having the health lead. And the Shadowfen Priest doesn't really do much in terms of the silence for us. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and say you have no Ice Storm. Mostly because I really don't want to play a Shadowfen Priest. And because if he doesn't have an Ice Storm, that's a fantastic play. This is like the all-in kind of play. If he has an Ice Storm, we probably just lose this game based on the value it generates for him. And if he does not have an Ice Storm, we're in a much, much better position suddenly. Because we're likely to get Golden Saint value. And there's the Ice Storm. Alright, well, he is definitely on Control Mage, and he is
At the ready.
now significantly ahead of us. And by significantly, I really mean he's up one card, but
There's a plan.
giving them
There's always a
any
plan.
sort of advantage
Friend.
is usually a problem. On the plus side, we can Golden Saint here. Did not
Don't
gain
go
enough that this
further.
won't get us the lead. We are walking into potentially Dawn's Wrath territory. Because you can trade here with this surviving and then Dawn's Wrath here. That would likely seal it. Like, the Ice Storm was a big tempo loss, but that would likely seal it. But we don't have many good ways to play around that, unfortunately. I feel a little bit better about saving our priest now. Not a lot, but I feel a little bit better. And we have some removal for his, like, Manticoras and things when those come online. But we don't have a big board presence, so we're gonna have to get a lot of mileage out of what we got.
You won't foil my plan.
Bone Colossus would be pretty big for us as well. Nahag Cleave also falls in that vein, right? Like, we do have some late game options to kind of push us hard in the direction that we want to go. So there is at least that to look forward to.
You must be cleansed.
Do that, and drop a Guardian. Hope he doesn't have another Execute for that Guardian. It'd be nice to get some value trades and catch back up on resources here. Though I suspect our good old guard deck might drop 0-2 for this video. Surprisingly, when I was playing this on stream, we had a really good win rate against aggressive decks. I think it's just a combination of big bodies, lots of guards, and life gain. But I feel like that for a mid-range style deck, it's not as punishing against the control decks as it needs to be. Because even though we have big bodies, they're just not very resilient.
Plan.
Alright, Ice Storm again? Yeah. So that's 2 Ice Storms down. Excuse me. Ew. That was a really good turn. Well, we can try to protect our 4-1. I don't think that using either of our big removals there is a worthwhile investment when I fully expect Manticoras and things to come online here soon.
I hear and
Right.
obey.
I don't even feel bad about playing this right
Let
now.
none
'Cause
defile
let's
our
be honest,
temple.
he's not going to give me a rune anytime soon, and we just need the body. We need pressure.
I shall end their blasphemy!
I hear and obey.
By Arca's beard, this day will be mine.
Alright, so I fully expect to see something now. Odaving, Parthenax, maybe even Manticora, but we gave him runes, so he's likely found answers at this point. That's all he was kind of doing, was just stalling. Alright, or it could just be all of the spot removal that he drew. That Bone Colossus is spicy.
I hear and obey.
Interesting. That's got to be a javelin or something. There's no reason that you don't like harpy that. So I feel like that has to have been a javelin or a lightning bolt, because those would be the kinds of prophecies you would want to shove back in your hand. There is the Manticore. Not exactly a shocker.
I hear and obey.
Alright. Prophecy number 2, which is pretty much
Let
on
none defile our temple.
on cue. Although that one was a really rough one for us, I'm not gonna lie. But he was kind of due. I mean, Mage runs somewhere between, you know, typically 20 and 30 prophecies, so averaging 2 or 3 a game is the standard.
There's a plan. There's always a
I guess
plan.
we do that. If he has a 3rd Ice Storm, then he seals it. But then he's also earned it at that point. So that would be all 3 in the first
shall
top
end the
half of his
blasphemy!
deck. So it was a Lightning Bolt that he put back in his hand. We now know what he got from the college winter hold as well.
I hear and obey.
Still waiting on him to
I've
play
got
that
you
big
covered.
bad Odaving on me. I suspect it's coming this turn, if not like another Manticora, which we might actually just let slide this time around. Kind of want him to punch me in the face, since we're not finding any of our card draw. It's not like we don't run any. We're not, unfortunately, running the East Marches like I would like, but we do have... Actually, you know what? I think that I ended up cutting him. I don't even think we have the Thieves Guilds anymore, which is a bit sad. This is actually a really good steal for him. The arrest.
There's a plan. There's always a plan.
Because he can actually use that to gain some health, even with it just sitting there passively.
There's a plan. There's always a plan.
Gonna push as hard as we can with the old skeletons there. Still got a sneaking suspicion he's got us, largely because of our lack of reach as well. But I will never give up, never surrender.
You won't spoil my plan.
Yep. Like I said, that has the potential to generate him some value, but we do get to draw a card, so it's like a bit of a give and take.
There's a plan. There's always
As
a
much as
plan.
I want to like silence that, I think we silence this. Silencing that would also unshackle it. So by getting rid of this, he's not gaining more health from that, and this by itself doesn't break a rune, so we'd have to use yet another resource. And we're driving him kind of low. We do also have the potential of like value trading into that if we don't draw something extra spicy this next turn.
You won't spoil my plan.
Sadly, as much as I wanted to save this for bigger, better things. Ooh.
Mother
We
of
just hit
mine.
him.
Let
Drop this
none
here.
defile our temple.
It's a risk, but if he doesn't have a board clear, we actually might have enough. Like, Lightning Bolt lets him gain health, right? Ice Storm lets him clear my board. Minus this, but I'm sure he'd have an answer.
Let none defile our temple.
Odiving's a problem. That's actually a really good counter play as well. He hasn't found much of his late game, which is the only reason we're still in this. He was like an Odiving or a Manticore away
Spoil my
from
plan.
things being extra spicy, but this is
By
good
the
enough.
8th, they will meet their makers.
So what we really need now is a second Bone Daddy or a Nahagleave. So that kind of works. Can do that, tome that, and swing. And then I would still have to trade both my guys in, huh? Not much I can do about it, though. Actually questioning whether or not I should have put this here. He likely would have just value traded these and then using this. Whereas now he's also going to get to draw cards and do all sorts of shenanigans. So that actually might have been a misplay on my part.
I shall end their
Why
blasphemy.
did I put that there and just get rid of the Dawnstar? Yeah, because now he's going to be able to keep this alive as well, which means stabilizing for Mr. Man over there. Let's just do that. I mean, we're still racing the clock. He just needs like any late game option, and then we just lose. Unless I can somehow kill that Dawnstar, then we might have a shot. We really needed like Golden Saint.
I shall end the blasphemy.
Nahagleave. Again, another Bone Daddy would have been very nice. Because he just needs anything at all. We really need this to be like execute in his hands. So that he just doesn't have... Well, he's only got like one left. So he doesn't have any like real answers. I was gonna say, you gotta take that trade, because if I top deck Bone Daddy, then I can trade into that. But I guess I'm wrong. Unless he's Odiving? No? Kind of surprised by that. 'Cause, I mean, yeah, he's not punished for it, but...
Awaiting orders.
I was one Bone Daddy away from getting what I think would have been a pretty favorable trade there. So like him and I both are just counting the moments. This is misleading. This is only one Golden Saint played, but him and I both are counting the moments.
I shall end their blasphemy.
Uh-oh. I'm gonna get rid of that, and then see if he takes the value trade. He was going face, which means he either has reach or he's gonna have like Odiving for a board wipe or something. Which means Edict will take care of whatever his thing is.
A little distraction might prove useful.
We're gonna split in case he has Manticora. Actually, he only has 9 left. So it's gotta be, what, Incano? Incano was his big play here? I mean, he only has 1 card in
At the
hand.
ready.
So I'm still kind of shocked that he's not taking the value trades. Because now this skeleton is enough to threaten lethal. This is such a nail-biting game! Every time I think it's over, it's not. On either side. Oh. Again, just so we're clear, I don't think that this version of the deck I'm running is good. It was more thematic than anything, as evident by my running Kvatch soldiers. I just wanted to put a bunch of guards in a deck, hence the name guard.deck. I think that if you're trying to run true mid-range Spellsword, we could tighten this up a bit. Like, this should easily be like Dragontail Savior. Should probably have Thieves Guild Shadowfoots in here. I'm sure that Knight of the Hour also does not belong. Like, that is strictly me just trying to run more guards.
My fight is done.
Hey! We did it, gang. There we go. We did go 1-1. Made up for it a bit. And, yeah. Hopefully this inspires you to, like, use the new card. I do think that the new card is good in mid-range. Just don't run guard.deck. Actually run, like, real mid-range Spellsword. You'll be much better off. Yeah. As always, I love you guys, and until next time, may you walk on warm sands. I guess I should open this and see what we get here real quick. Alright. Nothing exciting. Alright, gang. May you walk on warm sands. Love you. See you next video.